2. Hoa Lo Prison. 1. Make of the introduction of Hoa Lo Prison, the construction and historical background that led to the construction of the prison, the structure of the prison, the function of the jail in different periods to these days. 1.1 The historical background that led to the construction of the prison. In 1885, King Ham Nghi launched Can Vuong Edict appealing people and patriotic scholars to rise up and fight against French colonists. Responding to this appeal, there were around 20 uprisings against French colonists happened in 1885 to 1896 with typical uprisings such as Ba Dinh Uprising led by Dinh Cong Trang, Bai Say Uprising led by Nguyen Thien Thuat, Huong Khe led by Phan Dinh Phung. Besides Can Vuong Movement, the Uprisings was the biggest uprising and lasted near 30 years from 1887 to 1913 led by Hoang Khe Tham, and it caused French a lot of demage. In order to suppress these uprisings, French built Hoa Lo Prison, Central Prison, in 1896 to jail the political prisoners. Because these uprisings speed resulting in the numbers of prisoner had increased rapidly, so French must use this prison in 1899, although it wasn't completed. 1.2 The structure of the prison. Hoa Lo Prison is divided into 4 sections, A, B, C and D. Sections A and B are for holding prisoners under interrogation and dangerous prisoners. Section C is for holding French or foreign prisoner. Section D is for holding prisoner who sentenced to capital punishment. The prison are surrounded by a solid stone wall 4 m high, 0.5 m thick, set broken glass on the top and high voltage electricity to prevent breaking the prison. There are 4 watchtowers at 4 corners to observe the entire inside and outside of the prison. 1.3 The function of the jail in different periods to these days. 1. Period 1889 to 1954. French colonists used it for jailing Vietnamese patriotic scholars, political prisoners, revolutionary leaders. 2. Period 1954 to 1973. Democratic Republic of Vietnam used it for detaining American pilots, and some of them called it was Hanoi Hilton. Besides, it was used to jail spies of Republic of Vietnam. 3. Period 1973 The present. In 1993, a part of the prison is used for building Hanoi Tower. Nowadays, the prison only has a part of about 2,000 square meters which is preserved and embellished into Hoa Lo Prison Memorial Area. 2. How were Vietnamese political prisoners treated in Hoa Lo Prison? The system of cells at Hoa Lo Prison were very dark and stuffy because the windows were built close to the roof. The mobile septic tank was placed right in the cell. Dozens of people used the toilet every day. It wasn't taken away in many days, resulted in the waste was full and spilled over the floor, causing serious pollution. The prisoners had to do many types of labor such as working on dikes, maintaining roads, cleaning septic tanks. If the prisoner doesn't complete their assignments, they will not receive food. The diet of prisoners was provided through bidding. The contractor often cut the prisoners' portions and used poor quality food like moldy rice, spoiled meat and vegetable. The prisoners were not allowed to use chopsticks or spoons because French worried that they could use them to attack the prison guards, so they had to collect waste coconut shells to make spoons and bowls. Every year, the prisoners were distributed 2 sets of clothes and a thin blanket. The quantity of clothes was very poor and they were very short, so prisoners only wore them in a short term before they were torn. There were so few clothes, prisoners had to find all ways to keep warm in the winter. They had to wear all clothes they had to keep out the cold. Some women had to collect small pieces of cotton and then sewed them into a small mattress to cover their chest for keeping warm. Living in the poor condition, lack of food, lack of hygiene and tortured cruelly, so many prisoners had died when detaining it here. French colonists used barbarous methods to torture prisoners such as, jailed them in the dark cell called cacot, a place had not light as well as lacking of air, worse the floor was steep so the prisoner couldn't lie and only could sit. After a short time, they would suffer from edema, blurred vision, and scabies due to lack of light and hygiene. Besides, the prison guards also electrocuted female prisoner on their ears and nipples. In addition, French used guillotine, the most barbarous device in killing prisoner. After they died, French used their heads to parade the streets to threaten people. 3. What was the difference between how the French treated Vietnamese political prisoner and Vietnam treated American POWs? Prisoner of war. After 1954, American prisoner was mainly pilots were detained at here and Vietnam treated them as guests. They had beds, Western food such as bread and milk that were so expensive and luxury to Vietnamese people at that time. They could play volleyball, do exercise inside the prison, they could hold Christmas party with wine, chicken, and Christmas tree. In summary, they were treated so kindly and even they called this prison Hanoi Hilton. 4. Do you believe in all information presented in Hoa Lo Prison? Give reason to support your answer. Yes, of course, because you can see all objects at here and they will show you everything about the past. Moreover, you can watch some videos, some photos, and they are the most persuasive evidence.